Hey everybody, Kevin Keene here with Sounds to Live By. Hope you're having a great week. Hope you're finding time to both work and rest, which is what we're talking about today. The word of the hour right now is hustle, grind. That's what everyone's doing, is seeing how much they can cram into a day, because success seems to be built by blood, sweat, and tears. Now, I'm not saying you don't need to work hard, but this ideology brings a huge problem because people can't sustain that level of intensity for that amount of time and not burn out. And that's why we see a bunch of people burn out. That's why we see songwriters never write again after they hit a point of frustration and they just can't move on. They can't go on. They can't continue. And I don't want to see you end up like that. So we're going to talk about some elements today of how you can continue to operate on a really high efficient level as a songwriter and not go through burnout and see a career develop out of your songwriting. So today we're going to talk about ways that you as a songwriter can manage your time and energy well so that you don't burn out, so that we don't have to see another great songwriter get frustrated and quit. We don't want to see you quit. And the key to not quitting is to know how to balance work and rest and play and all those things that us high achievers can get lopsided in the work and just grind on something until it just kills all the joy and we forget why we're doing what we're doing, and it's not fun anymore. Music, art, expressive elements should always be fun. There's a weighty element to it. I'm not saying we're just playing games, but it should always be enjoyable. If we stop having fun, we know we've forgotten part of the reason of why we do what we do. I just finished a book called Peak Performance. I'll link it down low where you can get it on Amazon if you want to, but it's written by Brad Stulberg and Steve Magnus. Great book. I took a lot away from it. I'm always geeking out on ways that highly efficient people operate. And pretty much what I'm going to talk about today came out of that book. I'm going to summarize a couple things and kind of fit it to songwriters. But we're going to talk about how that you can work really hard, but followed by really hard work, you need to have a lot of really good rest. This is where a lot of us fail to really accomplish. We're trying too hard, and we're not allowing ourselves the proper rest to really achieve the performance that we can. It's a matter of fact, and you've experienced this time and time again, but you will be trying to figure something out. Let's say you're working on a bridge lyric and you got the rest of the song, but that bridge is just giving you trouble. You cannot finish for the life of you, but you stay at the piano, pencil and paper in hand, trying to figure it out, and you just can't. It just doesn't click. Finally, after hours and you're just frustrated, you throw the pen and paper across the room and you go and you hang out with your friends or with your spouse and you just take some time off. You start having fun, start laughing. A couple hours later, you've forgotten all about the song, but as you lay down that night, your head hits the pillow, you're about to drift off, and the perfect line pops into your head. That is the power of rest. That's the power of walking away and knowing when to quit in that period where you hit that wall of, I can choose to stop right now, maintain my sanity, walk away, and trust that as I walk away, my unconscious mind is going to continue to work on this problem. That's part of the book Peak Performance, is just the science behind how our subconscious mind will continue to dig for that answer after our rational mind stops and shuts off and does something enjoyable. There's something in the book they call social rest, where if you're working in the studio all day, you should probably go hang with your family or friends that night and just do something fun. Get your mind off of it, because your subconscious is going to continue to work on that song after you've stopped. And it's a beautiful paradox. I'm a Christian. I believe in God, and I believe so much in we accomplish more in rest than we do in all of our effort and all of our striving. Now, this is not to take away from the work side. In the book, Brad Stolberg, Steve Magnus, they interview a lot of athletes. There's a lot of fitness, high performers in this book, and they're looking at how hard that they train and then how hard that they rest. So I'm not saying you don't need to work hard. I'm saying know your limits. In the book, they suggest that you should have 1 to 2 hours of intense work and no more than that. So and these are all suggestions. I'm not telling you what to do. But if you work, let's say, max 2 hours on a song, you should take a break. Walk around. They talk in the book about how tons of highly successful, genius people will go on a walk because they know, again, their subconscious mind will kick in. Genius will kick in as they go and take a walk. When you walk away from the problem, you're actually doing the most proactive thing you can do by saying, I'm going to leave this here. I've worked really hard for a couple hours on this thing. I'm going to take a break, walk away from it, and I know the answer will come to me. This is just kind of learning to trust your intuition, trust the songwriter inside of you, and know that it's not only your ability to reason that is going to accomplish and write great songs. It's knowing that you write great songs because you are a songwriter. And part of what I want to do is help you get out of your own way. And so this is one of the ways you can do that. So you have the amount of time you can work. Keep that in a reasonable range, hour, 2 hours before you take a break. But there's also another guy named Daniel Pink that has this research. I first heard him talk about it. He has a book called When. It's all about understanding the peaks and troughs of your day energy-wise and knowing when to do creative work and when to do administrative work. And so for me, I'm also a producer, so I will mix and engineer songs. I know I'm more creative in the mornings, so my creative decisions as far as like sound design and the arrangement of a song, the rise and the fall, the overall impact, just the creative push of the song, I know I probably need to focus in the morning, whereas the afternoons, I'm more administrative. I can probably do more of editing, time aligning drums, making sure everything's sitting in the pocket, more analytical choices. And so understanding that, I can kind of set my day. I probably need to do more songwriting in the morning that is the melody, the heart of the song, the feel, the mood. But the afternoon is probably when I need to look at my lyrics and say, is there enough contrast here? Do I have the right elements in play? More analytical thinking. Am I using metaphors? Am I using words that are cliche and I could probably find better words? That kind of thinking is better for me in the afternoon. So understanding how you work, doing some experimentation. If you're a night owl, you probably do better work in the afternoon. That's probably more of your creative thinking. If you are a morning person and go to bed early, the morning time is probably better for your creative thinking. So to understand that, to know how that fluctuates throughout the day is important. So you have amount of time worked. You have certain parts of the day where you do certain kinds of work creatively or analytically. And then another thing is when you are working, to remove all distraction. Another book called Deep Work, Cal Newport talks about how it's so important that when you are focusing on anything that requires a lot of attention, which songwriting does, turn off the notifications on your phone, close your computer, don't have any distraction, preferably be somewhere where someone can't interrupt you, because anytime you have a notification on your phone or your watch or your computer or a phone call, whatever it is, it breaks the stream of focus that you have, and it takes a while for your mind to retrace and get back to where you were before the interruption, even if it's only a second. if you like turn away and turn back, you still have broken that stream of flow that you've created, and it takes a little bit to get back to that point. And so if you can remove all distraction and really focus and just start out 15, 20 minutes at a time with really focusing in with no distraction, and you'll be able to do a lot more effective work, more clear work if your mind's not going everywhere when you're trying to write songs. And so focus, work really hard, and know the times of days that you do better work. Then rest, shut it down. Make sure that you're taking breaks during the day, take walks, make sure that you are allowing yourself the time to recover from the stress that you put yourself under. Then, once you have rested and that subconscious mind is starting to kick in, make sure you have a way to document and capture the genius that is going to come out. You know, a lot of great writers have a notepad right on the side of their bed, on their bedside table. They'll have a notepad because they'll wake up with an idea in the middle of the night, or they'll be just hanging out and something will hit them. You know, a lot of people get great ideas in the shower. I don't know why, but there's like a huge market for like waterproof pad and pen. Like people just have them in their showers. I haven't tried that yet, but might work for you. Inspiration hits when we least expect it. And if you're prepared to capture in some form, you know, the voice memo app on your phone. Anytime you have a melody idea or a lyric idea, record it and make sure that you don't, you know, you'll think I'll remember it, but you probably won't. Go ahead and record it so that you have it and any other means to capture these ideas as they come out of your rest times so that you're being productive even in the rest to really track what you've received. And then finally, once you've captured that genius that is taking place from your subconscious mind, choose a time during the week to review the notes that you've taken. I'm guilty of this. I don't know how many voice memos that I have not gone back and listened to. I need to. I know, like I'm thinking right now of some great ideas I've had for melodies, and I just haven't gone back and listened to them. So choose a time a week. I'll do this too. Hold me accountable. I'll hold you accountable. But we'll go back once a week and listen to what we've captured, the voice memos we've created, the notes we've taken. Go back and review, because then you're just going to feed this cycle, this positive creative cycle of taking, working really hard, resting, and then capturing the genius that comes out as your subconscious mind continues to unfold. And so, like I said, a lot of this I got from the book Peak Performance. I really enjoyed it. You can check it out below. Also, if you'd like a free guide from me, I've made a 5-point checklist called the Killer Melody Checklist, and it's a guide that you can just take your melody and put it to the test and see if it passes these 5 elements. If it does, it is ready to go out into the world, and you have a killer melody. So that's my gift to you for free. Just click the link below or go to soundstoliveby.com/checklist. Thanks for listening. Comment below. Let me know what you think. What are some practices you put into play in your songwriting to keep it fresh, to make sure that you're not burning out? Now, some of you may be frustrated with me and saying, like, that's nice, Kevin. I don't have time. I have a day job. I cannot write for 2 hours, go on a walk, have my subconscious mind genius kick in, come back and write more. I have a day job. I can't do that. Okay, I hear you. Before you start, getting too worked up, let's just talk about this. One of the best songs I've written that connect with most people is a song that I wrote in 15 increments during a break I had on my day job. I had 15 minutes. I went in, I grabbed my guitar, I wrote a little idea for the verse, went back to work. I had another break throughout the day, another 15 minutes, went in, did a little work. You could, on your lunch break, you could go and write a little bit. When you get home, write for 15 minutes. What I'm saying is it's probably not healthy for you to work your day job, come home, and then write from 6 to midnight or 2 a.m. and be frustrated, not get the sleep you need. Come home and write for 30 minutes, write for an hour. Write for 15 minutes a day. Write for 10 minutes a day. Just be productive, move the needle forward, and I think it'll help you a lot to balance stress and rest and to keep those in perspective as you move forward. Hope this helped. Let me know what you think. Subscribe to this channel, like this video. We'll see you next time.